Namaskar. I welcome all of you to Degree Calculations ninth part. Last time, when we were doing 8th part, 8th episode of Degree Calculations, we were studying to make developments, pattern developments of a certain job. Job was this kind of one job. It's both ends, it had half rounds, and in between there is a straight portion. Last time I had drawn it, its plan and its elevation I had drawn here. Actually, that is called third angle projection. But here I have drawn it in the opposite way, means plan. Top view I have drawn in the bottom of this picture, and this picture, it is a front view, it is elevation, it is an elevation. I have drawn it in the top side of this plan. Elevation comes up and plan comes down. That is called first angle projection. I will do one separate video for first angle projection, third angle projection and other projections. So I don't describe about it now. But you recognize one thing. The word first angle projection means plan will be downside. The word third angle projection means plan will be top side. It means this picture, this engineering drawing is in a third angle projection. It is first angle projection. Last so many times I was trying to draw in third angle projection. Only today I drew it in first angle projection. Coming episodes also I will be drawing it through third angle projection. It means plan will come up and this elevation will come downside. So everything is same, measurements are same, whatever I had written last time. Straight length is 700 and its diameter is 1200, its thickness is 20 mm, its height is 2000. If one job is having this much of measurements, we need to do its development. 5 ways, 5 methods we have studied in 5 methods. Finally, we took one decision. In this way, if we make the pattern development, it will give a lot of goodnesses. It may also have some faults. It may also have some difficulties, but its goodnesses are more. So, most of the companies have to do in this way. It means from here to here is rolled portion. I have written rolling. In this portion we have to keep it in rolling machine, bending machine, and we have to roll it. And from here to here is straight portion. I have written here S. This straight length is 700 mm and this rolled length is 1853.5 and its height is 2000. Its height is 2000. For making this kind of one job, we have to use this much of measurements, 2000 height, and total, how much is the total measurement of 1800 plus 700? That is 2553.5 into 2000. If we take this kind of development, this kind of 2 plates have to be cut. If we cut it, we can make this kind of job. One rolled job will reach from here to here, and the second rolled pattern development will be reaching from here to here. Here one joint comes, here one joint comes. If we weld these two joints, we will get this kind of one job. So when we took this development, we told when we make one joint here, it has to have gap. I am not describing about it because last time I had described about it. For teaching you, I told about 4 mm gap and nose width is 1.5. If we have to get 4 mm gap for welding penetration, if we take a full length of 2553.5, there won't be gap. In another way, if we take it like this, for making gap, we will have to do grinding or we will have to do extra gasketing, we will lose manpower. That is in the good habit of a fabricator, that is in the good habit of a structural supervisor or fabrication engineer. So before starting these works, we have to take its proper estimation, proper procedure we have to calculate, and we have to do it. It means before taking this measurement, we have to decrease length for getting 4 mm. It means from in this plate, we have to decrease 2 mm. In this plate also, we have to decrease 2 mm. From center to this much 2 mm. From center to this much is 2 mm. Then total 4 mm. It means for making this kind of one job, in this portion and in this plate, I am indicating about this plate. In this portion, in this plate, here we have to give 2 mm gap, here we have to give 2 mm gap. Total to 4 mm gap we have to give only for this material, and we have to go same 4 mm gap for this material also. It means if we shouldn't take 2553.5, instead of that we will have to decrease 4 mm for welding gap, for welding penetration, for 4 mm gap. In another building specifications, it may be 5 mm, sometimes it may be 3 mm. According to that welding specification, you have to give the proper measurement. Here 4 mm. So we have decreased 4 mm from here. So it has become 2549.5. Here 2000 remains 2000. Why? Because there is no welding comes here. There is no welding comes here. Does any welding come here? No. Does any welding come here? No. According to this drawing, there is no welding. There is no welding comes here. There is no welding comes here, and welding comes only in this portion and this portion only. It means when we take its development, this portion has to have welding, this portion has to have welding, and this portion won't have welding, this portion won't have welding. So I told this portion won't have welding, so there is no need for us to decrease 4 mm. This portion won't have welding, so there is no need for us to make bevel, there is no need for to make gap, so we shouldn't decrease 2000, and we have to decrease 4 mm gap from this length. 2549.5 becomes after decreasing welding gap. So first our development, it was like this. Finally, for getting more accuracy and more speed, we could recognize its gap and we decrease this much. Our development has reached in this form. But what is the main problem? If you are cutting it from a big plate like this, it is a big plate, and this 2549.5 into 2000 is this. Think about this. This center portion is this much. So there is nothing to worry about it. When you do it, you can gas cut or plasma cut. Mostly you may be doing gas cutting or plasma cutting. You can cut its outside. But if we need this material, this is also a plate we need and we have to cut it. If we need this one, if we need this one, if we need this one, if we need this all, we can't cut, it's outside. So cutting gap, we have to get the knowledge about the cutting gap. We shall just check about the cutting gap. I have just drawn the picture of a gas cutting nozzle, approximate picture. Everything I drew with the free hand. When we draw this, it will make a gap. If it is a length from here to here 2551.5, it is also 2551.5, and if we cut it, there will be gap will be okayed. How much of gap will be okayed? In Gulf, different types of nozzles are getting. In India also, we are getting different types of nozzles. Now I am telling about some gas cutting nozzles which we get in Gulf countries. One small nozzle, it can be used for cutting 3 mm to 6 mm approximate. It is the list of the company which is producing nozzles. It may have slight variation when compared with another company's nozzle. For cutting 3 to 6 mm plates, we have to use a nozzle of 132. What does the word 132 means? 132 means 132 inch. It means this nozzle's center hole, oxygen comes through that hole. That hole have a diameter of 132 inch. What is 132? How much is 1 inch? 1 inch is 25.4 mm. Everybody knows. If it is 2 inch, how much it will be? 2 is double of 2. It means 1 into 2 is 2. It has to be multiplied with 2. This one also has to be multiplied with 2. 1 inch is 25.4. If it is so, 2 inch will be 50.8. How did we get it? We multiplied 25.4 with 2. For getting 2 inches diameter, for getting the measurement of 2 inch, we multiplied inch into 2. For getting 3 inch, we multiplied inch into 3, inch into 3. Earlier it was inch into 2. If we get 4 inch, we have to multiply it with 4. If we have to get half inch, we have to multiply it with half. It is, I have indicated, it is half inch. What is the measurement of half inch? It is 12.7. Half of 25.4. How did we get it? For getting 2 inch, we multiplied it with 2. For getting 3 inch, we multiplied it with 3. For getting half, we have to multiply it with half. When we multiply it with half, 1 by 2, we get 12.7. Same way, for getting 132 inch, we have to multiply inch with 132. When we multiply inch with 132, we get 0.79. So the actual diameter of 132 inch is 0.79, approximate 0.79. So when we cut with this 132 inch, it will produce minimum 0.79 thickness. Minimum 0.79 gap will be okayed. Minimum. Sometimes it may be doubled. In between double and between 0.7. That will be the proper cutting allowance. Okay. It is 132 inch. Other all nozzles names have been indicated here. It is 132 inch nozzle. It can be cut 3 to 6 mm plates, and the next big one is 364. It means 364 inch. With this one we can cut 6 to 19 mm plates. It means we can't cut our plate because our plate thickness is 20 mm. Our plate thickness is 20 mm. We can't cut this one with the 364. But its indication is 6299. If we have to cut less than 6, sometimes we can do it. Sometimes it may not have more finishing. Even if it is not having finishing, we can cut with 364 inch. Whatever measurement here it has been indicated, it's smaller sizes also can be cut, but there won't be finishing. But we shouldn't cut more than 19. It won't be, you won't be able to cut with 364 inch nozzle. If we cut more than 19 mm thickness, we shouldn't use this one. And check about all measurements. I am not describing about it. You can just read and realize it. 132 inch is used for 3 to 6 mm plate for cutting 3 to 6 mm plates, and 364 nozzle is used for cutting 6 to 19 mm plates. This 116 nozzle, it means 116 inch of 16 inch diameter of nozzle is used for cutting 19 to 100. It will be applicable for cutting our material because our material is 20 mm. It comes, this 20 mm comes in between 19 and 100. And the next bigger one is 5 to 64 inch. 5 to 64 inch diameter nozzle is used to cut 100 to 150 mm. Next bigger one is 332. It means 332 inch. This nozzle is used for cutting 150 to 200 mm thickness plates. And the next one is 764 inch nozzle. It is used for cutting 200 to 250. And this is the 18 inch 250 to 300 mm plates can be cut. We shall just check its diameter also. All measurements you have to calculate in your notebook. I am not telling about it because you are studying. I am just teaching about only. So I just told about this one, and now I just tell about this one only. What is the diameter of 180 inch nozzle? For getting 1 inch we used 25.4. For getting 2 inch we multiplied 25.4 with 2. For getting 3 inch we multiplied it with 3. For getting half we multiplied it with 25.4. For getting 132 we multiplied it with 132. For getting 18 we have to multiply 25.4 it with 18. Then we get 3.18. It means if we cut one plate which is having a thickness in between 250 and 300, we will get a minimum gas cutting of 3.18. It is minimum. It will be bigger than 3.18. It means sometimes it will be bigger than, it will be more than 6 mm also. So the nice measurement we can take is in between 3.18 and its double is more than 6 mm. In between this more than 6 mm and 3.18, one measurement is coming. That measurement has to be used for gas cutting allowance. But our thickness is 20 mm only. We can use this nozzle, 3 to 64 inch measurement nozzle we can use for cutting 364 inch. We will get a gap of sorry, I got a mistake. We shouldn't use 364 nozzle because our plate is 20 mm. For cutting 20 mm plate, we shouldn't use 6 to 19 thickness. This 6 to 19 mm thickness is used for this 264 nozzle is used for cutting 6 to 19 mm. We have to use 116 inch nozzle. With this nozzle we can cut 19 to 100 mm. This 20 mm thickness is coming in between 19 and 100. So we have to use 116 mm nozzle, diameter nozzle. What is the mm of 116 inch nozzle? However, we have done it in this measurement: 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 half inch, 132, 180 inch. We have to use do same calculation here. Then 116 inch means 1.59 mm. How did we get it? We multiplied 116 with 25.4, then we got 1.59. It means if we cut with 116 inch nozzle, this plate will have a minimum gap of 116 inch. Minimum gap of 1.59 mm. Sometimes because of some faults, its gap may be occurred double. It means 1.59 is double. So the proper measurement, proper gas cutting allowance we can do is, it will be in between 1.59 and its double is, how much will be double? You just calculate and find out. In between this double and in between 1.59 there will be a measurement. It means this 116 is 1.5 times big. This 1.59 is 1.59 times big measurement we have to use for gas cutting allowance. We shouldn't use 1, we shouldn't use 2. 2 is for double, 1 is for single. It means 1.59 is single, 1. We shouldn't use single, we shouldn't use double. In between single and double, 1.5 comes. With 1.5, if we multiply it, we will get a measurement 2.4. 2.4 mm gap will be occurred when we cut this 20 mm plate with this 116 nozzle. So we have to give 2.4 mm. For proper calculations and proper measurement, we can use 2.5 approximate. There is a difference of 0.1 mm that can be avoided. Okay. So finally we were thinking, if we give welding gap, we will have to give 2549.5 into 2000, then we will get a proper measurement. If it is only one plate, in a bigger plate, we can mark this measurement and we can cut it outside. But if there are so many plates, all plates we need for different purposes, nothing should be, material shouldn't be lost. So if we make 2549.5 into 2000, this mark, if we make in this plate, and if we cut it outside, this material is usable, its length or width will be decreased, 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 its corner will be damaged, its corner will be damaged, this corner, its corner will be damaged, this corner, its corner will be damaged. So we shouldn't mark 2549.5. We are cutting the center of the mark. We shouldn't use double marks. We have to use single mark. So we will get speed in our work. So we shouldn't mark 2549.5. Instead of that, we have to increase 2.5's half here, and another half is for another material is coming, material is here. This 2.5's gap will be occurred here. It means from this plate we have to decrease 2.5's half here. From this plate also we have to decrease 2.5's half. Total 2.5's half plus 2.5's half becomes 2.5. Here we have to for this plate, here we have to decrease half of 2.5. It means 1.25. Here also we have to decrease half of 2.5 for this plate. It means 1.25. Here 2.25 we decrease. Here 1.25 we decrease. Total length. In this total length we have decreased 2.5. It means 2.5 we have decreased here. We have to decrease 2.5 from